Okay, this is lesson 8-3, writing equations. So put that at the top of your notes. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be given sentences now, and we have to set up the equation from that sentence. We're not solving anything for the most part. We're just trying to set up the equation that represents that sentence. So like up here at the top, this says a power adapter costs $5 more than a docking station. The total cost of accessories is $63. So we would set up an equation for that. A power adapter costs $5 more than a docking station. So we know $5 plus. We don't know how much the docking station is, so they said use a D for docking station. So then the total, which means when you add them together, well, the docking station is D. A power adapter is the docking station plus 5 more. So you actually have these as your individual pieces that you're then adding together. So then you combine this. D plus D is 2D plus 5 equals 63. That would be your answer, your final answer, your equation. You wouldn't have to solve any further than that. So then let's look at several examples here. Okay, so the main thing you're looking at are numbers and keywords that tell you what to write. So this says Zach has 6 shirts. This is 4 less than twice the number of shirts in that Xavier has. So if I go back and read that again, Zach has 6 shirts. There's a number 6. That doesn't really tell me anything yet. And then it says this is, when they say that, they are referring to what was just given in the previous sentence. This is means equals, so we have 6 equals. Here's another number 4. Less than, twice means times 2. But then after it is what it's talking about, so this is what's times 2. The number of shirts in that Xavier has. So now, 6 is, when they say 4 less than is that tricky one. If it said more than, it would just be 4 plus. But since it said 4 less than, that actually means you're going to have something else, some other piece of information, than minus 4. Less than means you subtract 4. Think of it like if Ms. Patel had $20. I have 4 less than her. To find out how much I have, yes, we know it's 16, but you would do 20 minus 4, even though I said I had 4 less than her. So anytime you see less than, it means you have something minus that number. So we have so far 6 equals. I like to just write stuff down and then piece it back together. Minus 4. So now next is twice. We know twice means something times 2. We just don't know what yet. So something times 2. They tell you what's times 2 right behind it. The number of shirts in. So we have 2 times in. Okay, but we don't write it like that. We always put the number out front. So 2 in. And that's all the information we're given. So we piece it together. 6 equals 2 in minus 4. That would be your answer. We're not having to solve anything. We could, but we're not having to. Okay, on B, it says 8 more than the quotient of a number y and negative 3 is negative 24. Okay, so let's kind of look at our stuff. 8 more than the quotient. Let's talk about that. Quotient doesn't just mean divide. It means the answer to a division problem. So anytime we have, whether it's quotient, sum, difference, or product, that all means the answer to something. That means they're going to give you 2 things, because to find the quotient, you have to divide 2 things or 2 numbers. So they'll use the word and. The word and will be between the 2 things they want us to divide. Okay, so let's look. The quotient of a number y, that's one of our numbers. Oh, look, there's that keyword and. Negative 3. So they're telling me they want me to divide y and negative 3. Okay, then we have is, that means equals, negative 24. So now let's go back and piece this together. 8 more than. We know that means 8 plus. Quotient means we're dividing. Y and negative 3. So y divided by negative 3 is negative 24. So equals negative 24. And then there is our equation. Okay, I'm going to do one more because I know these are not the easiest. Okay, Jeremy has 13 baseball cards, which is 7 more than 1/5 the number M that Michael has. Okay, that sounds pretty confusing when you read it. So let's go back and break it down. He has 13 baseball cards. That doesn't really tell me anything, which is, there's that keyword is, so 13 equals 7 more than, so 7 plus. That part isn't super difficult. Then we get into this where it says 1/5 the number M Michael has. So more than 7 plus 1/5, that's a number, 1/5, the number M. Since they just kind of keep talking 1/5 M, that means 1/5 times M. M is also a number. So 1/5 M. So there is our equation for that one. Okay, because I know these are tricky, I want you to go ahead and try all 3 of these. Okay, and then I will go over them with you. On 1A, it says 4 more than 0.3 times the number x is negative 26. So the first thing we do is we look at each part of that sentence. So I have 4. That's a number. More than 0.3 times a number x, I can circle all of that, that's fine, but it's x, is negative 26. So circle things are our numbers, underline things, tell us, what to do between them. So we have 4 more than. So 4 plus, more than means add, 0.3 times, we're going to be multiplying that, a number x. So times, we have this times this. So 0.3x means equals negative 26. There's our equation. Okay, on 1B. It says Hannah has 24 stickers. This is 6 less than twice the number of stickers in Molly has. That sounds really complicated. But if we go back, Hannah has 24 stickers. So we know she has 24. It starts out with that. This is, so they're talking about the 24 is, which means it equals, well, I meant to underline that, is 6 less than. Okay, so 24 is, when it says 6 less than is that one weird one where it means you're going to have to go back and put minus 6. It goes at the end. So that means we're going to have 24 equals something minus 6. So then I have twice. Twice means times 2. Twice the number of stickers in. So 2 times n that Molly has. So this is your equation. 24 equals 2n minus 6. Okay, this last one. See, the quotient of a number n and 7 increased by 6 is equal to 12. Okay, the word quotient, sorry, that's in the video. The word quotient means the answer to a division problem. So anytime you have like the word quotient, product, sum, or difference, it means you're going to have to go find the word and. And what's on either side of that word and will tell you what you're either multiplying, dividing, adding, or subtracting. So quotient means we're dividing, so let's go find the 2 things that we're going to divide. Of a number n and 7. That word and tells me the 2 things I'm dividing. A number n and 7. So the quotient of n and 7, so you could either put it n divided by 7 or n over 7. Increased by 6, that means add 6, is equal to 12. On this one, well, I guess really it's either way, but I think this one looks more simplified or better. If you can't really see that on the video. It says n over 7 plus 6 equals 12. Example 2, this says Juan's father was 29 years old when Juan was born. This year, the sum of their ages is 53. Find their ages. Okay, so you have to, this is a separate type. They don't just give us the normal sentence because it just says Juan's father was 29 years old when Juan was born. So for Juan, they use X, so we will too. That's Juan. We know we're combining their ages, which means we're adding. But his dad was 29 when he was born. So his dad is going to be whatever Juan...
I'm not sure I understand.
Sorry, my watch started talking to me. So his dad is whatever Juan is plus 29. Because he's 29 years old, older. So if Juan is 5, his dad's going to be 5 plus 29. Okay, so then just says the sum of their ages is 53. So if I add those together, I should get 53. That's why we have two X's here. This is Juan. This is Juan's dad. Okay, so what I do, we add those together. X plus 29 equals 53. So then we can combine our two X's, and that's how we get this. And then we solve that equation because they asked us to find their ages. So Juan is 12, and then you do 12 plus 29 to get that his dad is 41. Okay, so I want you to try number 2 right here, and then I'll go over it with you. Okay, number 2, I'm not going to write it down. It says Daisha saved $D last month. This month, she saved $8 more than 3 times the amount she saved last month. She saved a total of $141. Write and solve an equation to find how much she saved last month. So we'll have 2 answers. Our equation, and then they tell us to solve it. So if I go back, it says she saved D last month. So last month, she had D. This month, she saved 8 more than 3 times the amount she saved last month. So 8 more than means I'm going to have plus 8 or 8 plus 3 times the amount she had last month. So last month she had amount of D. So 3 times that would be 3D. Okay, so this is for this month. She has saved a total of $141. So we're trying to figure out how much she saved last month. So eventually we're solving for what D, the value of D. So I have last month. Sorry, I heard something in my room. Okay. Plus this month equals a total of 141. So we solve for that now. So we can go ahead and combine our like terms. So I have 1D plus 3D, which is 4D plus 8 equals 141. So next we would subtract 8 because now we can solve for our variable. Let's see, minus 1 is 40, minus 7, 133. Is that right? Yes. I may have to get a calculator. Comes out to 33.25. That is how much money she saved last month, $33.25. On example 3, it says, Logan collected pledges for the charity walkathon. He will receive total contributions of $65.50 plus $21.75 for every mile that he walks. How many miles will he need to walk to raise $370? So on this one, we're having to set up an equation first. So, excuse me, says he pledges he will receive a total contribution of $65.50 plus, so that literally means add, so $65.50 plus $21.75 for every mile he walks. We don't know how many miles he walks, so we can use M to represent that. But he gets $21.75 for each one. So if he walked 5 miles, it'd be $21.75 times 5. So it's 21.75 times M. And then it says, well, how many miles will he need to walk to raise $370? So we're going to have to also solve for M, but that's helpful because now we have something we can set it equal to. We can set it equal to 370 total to now solve for M, since they actually ask us how many miles he would need to walk. So here's our equation, and then we would solve it. So we would subtract $65.50 from both sides, then we would divide by 21.75 from both sides, and M would equal 14. So he would need to walk 14 miles to raise $370. Okay, so last problem of the day. I want you to try number 3, and then I will go over it with you. Okay, our last problem says Jasmine bought 6 DVDs all at the same price. The tax on her purchase was $5.04, and the total was $85.74. What was the price of each DVD? So we first have to set up an equation. Yes, you could probably solve this without doing that, but look at what you did to solve it and then set up an equation with that. So we know she bought 6 DVDs. We don't know how much each DVD is. That's what we're looking for. So that can be your letter. I'm going to say X. So she bought 6 of them. So say the DVDs are $5 each, and she bought 6 of them. That'd be 6 times 5. So I have 6 times X plus the tax, which they told us was $5.04. If I add that together, that gives you the total that she paid, which was $85.74. There's your equation. So now we solve. We subtract the $5.04. So $80.70. And now we divide both sides by 6. So 80, 70 divided by 6, $13.45 is how much each DVD costs.